Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Today is the November 6th, and looks like we're rolling towards the end of the year really quickly this year, or every year, I should say. And we're going to talk about the market. There's been some shifting and some consistent themes that have been playing out. So we're going to cover that. As always, I'm going to try to give you information that's going to be helpful for you. And this is going to be specific to Discovery Hills area, Discovery Meadows. I gently kind of speak about Discovery area altogether, right? Because the solar ranch is there. There's all different new neighborhoods in the area now. So anyway, my name is Orzhel, broker owner of Realty Max. I really appreciate you joining me as I do this probably about once a month or so, just kind of keep you updated on what's going on in the market. So what's going on? We always start with the rates because the rates are the most important thing that seems to be driving everything for us. Let me make myself a little smaller here, right? All right, so as you can see, rates, not today because they haven't repriced yet, but they're running around 6.22%. As you can see, we kind of hit somewhere, 6.15, 6.15, and now we're kind of going back up because the market has taken a major dump today. Most people, when the stock market goes down, people run from stock and try to go into safety, be it bonds, etc. And that's why a lot of times, because more people want bonds, or 10-year bond at least, we'll see a mortgage rate slightly dip. So we're probably going to see that within the next day or two. But overall, the mortgage rates are still hovering around 6% more or less, right? The market itself is stable. Oh, let me pop myself here. So the market itself is stable. There's no issues as far as the market goes. A lot of people talking about the crash and crash this and crash that. And really, I don't believe we're going to see a crash at all. We are going to see some softening. Sorry about that. We are going to be some softening as we're seeing it now, but overall the crash is not going to happen. What do I mean by softening? Well, look, the rates are high. Obviously, people buying, just to give you an example, $1 million home, putting $200,000 down, still going to have probably a mortgage mortgage payment of close to about $6,000 plus, and that would depend on what their tax situation looks like as far as is there Melrose or is there no Melrose. Is there going to be anything added to that as well? Like, let's say, homeowners insurance, as you know, has been going up a lot as well. So a lot of factors that impact what someone's paying. But like I said, it is a lot of money, and in order for you to buy $1 million house, more or less, I've done some calculations. You're looking at someone needs to make about $160,000 to $180,000 and have excellent credit to do so. All right, so that kind of gives you an overall view of what's going on. So you have to have money to buy it. A lot of people are still sitting on the sidelines hoping for rates to drop down to 5 or 5-ish or so, and I think that's going to change the market altogether. Right now the market is very stagnant. Things are selling. I'll show you that when I snap back to Discovery Hills market so you can see for yourself. In fact, let me do this now. See if I can do this right now. Let's see. Boom. Okay. So just kind of quick glimpse on it. This obviously includes the Solar Ranch area, the new construction as well. So we have about 11 homes or so on the market. And as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pending, right? So, and this is a 60-day snapshot. I believe I have a 60-day snapshot set up, which means is we have about 2 homes going under contract every month, right? So based on what you're seeing here, we have about 11, right? So if no other listings come on the market, we probably have about a 5 months to 4 to 5 months supply of inventory at this point. So, it's not really a seller's market anymore. It's more like a in-between market. It's probably a neutral market. What really makes a difference right now, and I'm just telling you this from my experience, what really makes a difference right now is if you're selling, there's, I believe, 2 or 3 important factors. Number one, you want to make sure the home is ready to sell if you are looking for top dollar. Now, I run into people whose home needs a lot of work and they really don't want to deal with the market and they really just want to get a cash offer on a property, right? No fees, nothing, just whatever the net number is for them. And if you're in that situation where your home needs a lot of work and you don't want to deal with this, please let me know. I'll bring 2-3 cash offers for you, and you can make your decision. Like I said, you wouldn't have to pay me anything. Usually the other people pay my bill. But regardless of that, like I said, if that's your situation, you want cash, you want to be in and out, you want a reasonable price for your home that needs work, like I said, contact me. We'll do what we need to do. But overall, if you're looking to sell your home on a resale market, remember, you are competing with other people. So you really want to stand out. Most buyers nowadays don't really want to spend any more money than they have to, especially in light of the fact that things are so expensive, right? You're going to hire a contractor to do the kitchen or to do the bathroom. You're going to pay some serious money. So everybody is very money conscious. Things are expensive. So you want to make sure the home is really dialed in. A lot of people I notice spend money in totally different areas, wrong areas, where, well, the home looks better maybe slightly, but they're really not going to get the money back for what they spent. Maybe they'll get back 50 cents on the dollar, or maybe 80 cents on the dollar. So I don't usually, in my clients, I don't recommend anything that needs to be done unless they can do, $2 for they can get $2 back for every dollar they spend. Ideally, we're looking for $3 or $4. So we focus on those areas that really meet the criteria to get you the most money possible from the money you invest in improvements. So anyway, if you're going to be doing something, you probably want to connect with your trusted advisor, be it me or somebody else. It's up to you who you want to use. In fact, if you got the newsletter for this month, there's a section you'll see that I'm going to be running some webinars, Zoom webinars online for people. So if you would like to join us, feel free to fill in the form, and we will let you know when one is set up. We're going to talk about everything you need to know about home selling, how to prepare it, how to set it up, how to make sure you are in front of the market versus being in the back of the market, and taking some serious hurt to your bottom line. So you really want to do things strategically, right? It's really, really important, this market, because we're not in a 2022 market, 2021 market where we're getting 20, 30 offers. In most cases, when I'm selling, we're getting 2 offers, 3 offers on the table. We're able to leverage those to really make sure not only do you get top dollar, but also your transaction is very convenient in terms of being smooth, because the buyers always know, if they don't cooperate, if they start pulling our leg, we have someone else to jump onto and finish the transaction. So it has to be very strategic. And as I've told you many times before, time is money when it comes to you being in the market. So the longer your home stays in the market, the less you're ultimately going to get for it, or the less it becomes its perceived value, which means you are going to get most likely lowball offers. You're going to have to start chasing the market down. That's why I always say you want to be in front of the market, not in the back of the market. Especially in a neutral market or a slightly seller's market, you always want to be in front of the market. So let me just switch really quick to this, and we're kind of going to touch on things here. Let's see if I can blow this up a little more for you. So as you can see, right, we have about 11 or so on the market. Some of it is into Sora Ranch. Like I said, one just came on the market in Via Veracruz, 353, 3147 square feet, but looks like they're asking $1,539,000. All right, that's great. So what else we have? Echo Lane, there's one on the market there. Westbrook Loop, there's one there. There's one on SEMA on the market for 48 days, right? $1,150,000. I can tell you that you can keep your price up as long as you want. The market doesn't care. And let me just bring myself back really quickly here. One thing I tell all my clients, right? And all I tell all my clients is the same thing. How much you need out of the property, right? Because you're buying a new one. It doesn't really matter. The market doesn't care about that, right? How much you paid for it, how much you need out of it. All those are factors of needs, your needs. Market only responds to market factors, which is supply and demand, right? Again, as you can see, as I flash here, supply is supply. You have all this home on the market. However, as you can see, some homes stay in the market for 8 days and some stay for longer time, like 61 days. And in most cases, like 99% of the time, there'll be a 5 to 6% loss on value, because perception is reality. And as I often say, there's the difference between Nordstrom's and Nordstrom's rack is one sells high-end properties and the other one sells the high-end properties that have been discounted because they've been sitting on a shelf too long. And one actually attracts people who are willing to pay top dollar, and the other one kind of attracts people looking for deals, right? Bargain hunters. And you really want to be in the one that attracts the highest paid, most motivated buyers for you. So some things you have to think about when you're looking for agent, hiring an agent, etc. Right? So let's see what we have. Let me make this a little bigger here. Sorry. All right. So it looks like we have a couple of sales here that happened last month. This one is Lazarite. This is Tesoro Ranch, I believe. Let me see which one this is. We can look it together. Yeah, this is Tesoro Ranch, one of the condos there. Looks like 17 days in the market, 735 asking price. They walked away with 717. I'm not sure what other concessions we had. Then we have one that closed on the 29th of last month. Marigold, right? 5 bedroom, 3 bath. Yes, I know who that is. Originally it was priced at $1,549,000. We have 47 days in the market. Looks like they've done a reduction, and they dropped it from $1,549,000 to $1,399,000, as you can see that, right? So it's about $150,000, and then it sold for $1,319,000, right? So you can do your own math here. What is that, around $240,000 less? Again, viewers, you really need to understand who you're hiring and why you're hiring them. The most important part of any kind of agent is not that they're nice. It's not that they're maybe going to promise you something. Is their track record. And there's some videos. Maybe I'll put one up at the end. You can look. It's very easy to see how an agent does. What is their sales price to list price ratio? For example, what they list the property at and what did they end up selling it at, right? Right now we're still running around 5-6% above asking price. In most cases, you can do some research. You'll see a lot of agents are at 90% or less than that, right? I'm talking about the original price. So it's really, really important for you to do your research and make sure you don't get lured in by a low commission. We'll charge you 1%, 1.5%. We'll do this for you, this for you. Remember, a good agent's not going to just throw themselves under the bus, because just as much as they value how much they get paid, they value what you want for your house and that you want to get top dollar. You want to understand those things, right? You want to make sure that the agent does not need the sale more than you need to sell, right? Because you need to want to sell more. You're motivated to sell more, so then the agent needs to be motivated to get their commission, right? Because then they have a kind of a I guess judgment or misweighing of who needs to be where. Anyway, I think I'm talking way too much here, so let's jump back here. Right, so those are the two I just pointed out for you. So it closed at $1,319,000. What else? I marked a few. Here's another one. This is Gemstone, and this is the one in Tesoro Ranch, 5.3, 2018, about 2,550 square feet. Original price was $1,212,000, and they closed at $1,162,000, 43 days in the market. So as you can see, there's a definite pattern. The longer you're in the market, the less you're going to end up getting for the house, because we affect perceived value. Another one on Reserve Street, I think that's Mission Circle, I believe. 4.3, 2,800 square feet, 2019. Asking price of $1,350,000. It looks like they closed at $1,350,000. And also notice something very important right here: 5 days in the market, right? So if you don't believe me that market time affects perceived value, ultimately what someone's willing to pay for your house, well, look at the evidence, right? Facts are facts and feelings are feelings, so you want to look at those. Anyway, so I covered that. I covered the rates. What do I think is going to happen? Well, I think the rates ultimately at some point are going to go down. We still have a government shutdown, so I'm not sure how long the standoff is going to last. People are obviously taking it not getting paid. They work for the government. So I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure, but I do think the rates are going to end up going down because I think, I don't know, I just smell a recession coming for some reason. Now, are prices going to go down tremendously? No. We may have a 5 to 8% pullback. So if you are going to be selling it or thinking of selling the next couple of years, you may want to wait this out and maybe get things done now versus later, because there is a possibility we'll have a slight pullback. It's not a crash. Homes are not going to be given away for free, but we may have a slight pullback. All right. I think that's all. If you are thinking of selling, sign up for our webinar that's coming up. If you have any specific questions for me, feel free to reach out directly. My phone number is right here. And I think that's all I want to say for this month. Hope everybody enjoyed Halloween. Gave a lot of candy out and did not eat just as much. And like I said, hopefully the next 30 days is smooth sailing for you. I'm going to sign off. My name is Orzhel, broker owner of Realty Max. Right below, you'll get my information if you want to get in touch with me. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you again.